Welcome back to my channel, everyone. So today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of emotions, especially we're going to explore a unique and often misunderstood feeling, the feminine disgust. So what is it? How does it manifest? And why is it important to understand? So let's explore it. So, what is disgust? Disgust is a powerful emotion that we all experience. It's our brain's way of protecting us from harm, usually by making us avoid things that could be dangerous, like spoiled food or unsanitary conditions. But disgust isn't just about avoiding physical harm. It also plays a role in our social and moral lives, especially as women. So research has shown that there are differences in how men and women experience and express disgust. Women on average tend to report higher levels of disgust sensitivity. This has led to the term feminine disgust. But what does this mean and why does it happen? So feminine disgust refers to the heightened sensitivity to disgust that is often observed in women. This sensitivity can be linked to evolutionary factors, where women historically had to be more cautious to protect themselves and their offsprings from potential threats. But it's not just about biology. Social and cultural factors play a huge role too. Women might experience higher levels of disgust in situations where there is a perceived risk to health or social harmony. This can be both a protective mechanism and a response shaped by cultural expectations. Understanding feminine disgust is important because it helps us appreciate the complexities of human emotions and their impact and behavior. So how does feminine disgust manifest in everyday life? It can show up in various forms, from physical disgust at unclean environments, like a dirty toilet, or social disgust towards unethical behavior or moral violations, like a brother treating another sister in a disgusting way, in a horrible way, or even a man speaking to you or looking at you in a very disgusting way, as well as sexual energy, mostly, or experiences from men. So, which is a big one. And here, of course, because of this channel, I would like to refer more to the feminine disgust that's coming from inappropriate sexual energy from men specifically, which is very important these days to understand. I think that if men would truly know how they make women feel disgusted, I think this will be the biggest wake-up call for men. And it's not just about a sexual behavior. It's mostly about sexual behavior, but it is also, I could tell you I am disgusted by how a lot of men in my life that I see treat their women. I am disgusted to my core. And it makes me respect them less. It makes me like them less. I can still pray and see their potential and see their hope, but it is disgusting to me. And I don't believe any man wants any woman to think and feel like that towards him. And I really believe that if men would know how they make us feel most of the time with their behaviors, this will be a huge wake-up call. All right. So exploring feminine disgust on a spiritual level, particularly in the context of sexual energy and trauma, involves delving into deep and often complex emotional and spiritual realms, which can be and felt very differently by each woman. Yet all women share this emotion and experience in life in some level. And trust me, we're experiencing this from a very young age. And it is many times very, very subconscious. And many times women are not even understanding how much they're disgusted in the moment. Which has to do also with a lot of other factors like survival, like you're entering your fight or flight mode, you're entering your survival mode. You just don't want to, a lot of women want to ignore specific emotions because if we are constantly, if most women will be constantly aware of how much they're disgusted by men throughout the day, it will never end and they will not be able to like live their life. So I can understand why most women choose to subconsciously ignore that or find excuses. Oh, he didn't mean that. Oh, he didn't. But deep down, it's like their guts is like, twisting apart. So feminine disgust towards sexual energy, especially in the context of sexual trauma or negative experiences with men, can be rooted in several layers. Number one is emotional wounds. Sexual trauma often leaves deep emotional scars. Feelings of disgust can arise from the violation of personal boundaries and the profound betrayal of trust. Number two is energetic imbalance. So sexual energy is powerful and sacred. When it is misused and abused, it can create an energetic imbalance inside the psyche of a person. For women, this can manifest as a rejection or a disgust towards anything associated with the traumatic experience. So anything can trigger, anything that is associated with that experience can trigger that disgust. Number three is body memory. The body stores memories of trauma. Big time. Disgust can be a visceral reaction to sensory triggers that remind the individual of the trauma. Sacred feminine energy, the divine feminine energy, is a nurturing, compassionate, and deeply connected to the earth and to the cycle of nature, because we also have the cycles of our body. Sexual trauma can disrupt this natural flow, creating a blockage in accessing the divine feminine essence within a woman. The womb is also considered a sacred center of feminine power and creativity. Trauma can cause a disconnection from this sacred space, leading to feelings of disgust as a defense mechanism to protect this vulnerable area of the womb. The feminine disgust is not acknowledged or transmuted. If it's not transmuted, can fester in the body and the womb and transform into an illness, whether it is physical or emotional illness. It can lead to deep depressions and a desire to escape this world in any means. And again, this would look very different for every woman. Healing and awakening, shadow work, engaging in shadow work, which involves confronting and integrating repressed aspects of the self, can be crucial in this process of healing any trauma. This process, and I'm going to do a video series about sexual trauma, especially from the eyes of a sex priestess and how to heal. Obviously, I cannot share everything on YouTube, but I will share a lot of information, what I can, because healing sexual trauma is, we have to heal it right now, sisters and brothers. This is the time. It is one of the first steps in our evolution is to heal the old trauma, transmute it, and move on. Okay, so this process helps in understanding and transforming feelings of disgust into empowerment. And again, this is something I teach sex priestesses in the initiation. There are many practices that lead us to that place of full transmutation of any pain, of any trauma, of any disgust into absolute power. Energetic cleansing. So we have practices like Reiki, chakra balancing, and other forms of healing that people, there's many different modalities that people use today and create today. And you just have to find the person that you feel fully safe and vulnerable to work with in terms of your healing. So be very careful today of the healer that you choose to work with. It's very, very sad for me to say, but the spiritual community has been totally infiltrated by the dark forces. So you really must have very strong discernment in choosing a healer, choosing someone to work with, choosing a safe space for you to open up and to fully surrender and feel safe. But there's a lot of forms of energy healing that can help release stored trauma and restore balance. I'm actually going to start, I really would like to start having groups and teach the cervix massage. I cannot teach this online. This is not something you can teach online. But whoever wants to learn, please contact me, because I would like to start having groups all over the world and really teach women, not men. This is for women to do for other women, on how to heal deep sexual trauma physically by a very specific cervix massage and cervix work that a one woman does to another. So it's a highly sacred space, very, very safe. And yeah, so this is very, very powerful work that, again, I cannot share on YouTube. I cannot share I cannot even do an online course and share this, because this has to happen physically with women. I have to actually see what they do, that they're doing it correctly, because if you don't do this work correctly, it can actually trigger more trauma instead of healing. So back to the video. So the sacral chakra, which governs sexuality and creativity, is often a focus in such healing practices. So this is about the sacral chakra, which is, again, it's very important to work with when it comes to stored sexual disgust, especially in women. So ritual and ceremony. So engaging in spiritual rituals that honor and reclaim the feminine power can be absolutely transformative. And again, my Sex Priestess initiation is all about a life of ritual, because that is the divine feminine. The divine feminine constantly lives in a ritual all day long. Okay, it's not just like, oh, I'm gonna go do ayahuasca ceremony. Oh, I'm gonna go do this thing. No, like a Sex Priestess and a divine feminine woman lives in a ritual from the moment she's awake and even during her sleep time. It's a constant state of ritual. And again, this constant state of ritual, as I explain, in the books and everything, that's the way to awaken the codes, the specific codes of you, of your own womb, of your own body, of your own ancestors, of your own memories. That is the key. So these might include moon ceremonies, goddess worship, sacred dance, whatever you want to call it. But the most important thing is for every woman to create her own rituals. So it's not like following someone else's rituals. I really encourage women and men too, but mostly women, to create their own rituals constantly. Transmuting the disgust into empowerment, reclaiming sovereignty. All right. So that feminine disgust has a huge potential in really turn into absolute power if we know how to do it. Now, let's talk about boundaries. Establishing and maintaining strong personal boundaries is essential. This not only prevents further harm, but also helps in reclaiming personal power and autonomy. Self-love and compassion is very important to cultivate. It is a key for healing. Practices such as mirror work, which I talk about a lot, affirmations and self-care rituals can nurture a positive relationship with oneself. Another important thing is forgiveness. Forgiveness for any perpetrator, any trauma, any pain, and also for yourself for feeling the disgust. Acceptance of this emotion and experience is vital in the process of alchemizing it. Now, when I say forgiveness, this is a very tricky one, because it's not necessarily that the persona that is you, right? Like me, Luna Aura, has to forgive someone if someone has sexually been a perpetrator. But I can, on a higher level, connect to this on a soul level to that person's soul and find some forgiveness. So there are many, many different kinds of forgiveness, but finding a way of forgiveness that works for you, because that forgiveness is not for the person, really, it's for you. And again, this is a very long topic, but I'm just mentioning it's like, don't be harsh on yourself, because I'm not expecting you, yourself, the persona, the ego to forgive. Most of the time, we don't need to forgive this person. But there is a way of forgiveness on a soul level that can be done, that can release you, that can set you free. All right, so now let's talk about acceptance. Acceptance of the emotion, accepting your disgust, on a basic level. And accepting the emotion and the experience is vital in the process of alchemizing it. All right, so if you don't accept the fact that I am disgusted and not be angry at yourself for being disgusted. Just like, I'm fucking disgusted. I'm owning the fact that I'm disgusted by now, and let it out and express it in any way possible that is good for you, for your body, for your emotions. Now, engaging in conscious and consensual sexual experiences, and I'm talking about highly sacred sexuality here, the sacred union, what I teach in the Sex Magic School, can help in healing. This involves clear communication, mutual respect, and a focus on emotional and spiritual connection. So again, the sacred union is a gift for all humans, which we have forgotten. We have forgotten the rites of initiation. We have forgotten what a true sacred sexual union truly is, what a sacred union is between ourselves and ourselves in the universe. And it is vital in this path of awakening and transmutation and evolution of the highest version of our human. Now there's a lot of other work like yoni healing, like I talked about, the cervix massage that I really, really, really would like to teach women how to do in their practice. So again, if you want to learn how to do a yoni massage, contact me. I will see if it's possible at some point to create a group in your country, because I travel all the time. Again, this has to be done face to face. So one day I really would like to do small groups all over the world and teach this method, because it is a very important method from the temple, a sex priestess work, how to work on other women. And really, this is one of the biggest gifts we can give to other sisters. So yoni is a Sanskrit word for the female genitalia, is often regarded as a sacred space. Yoni healing practices such as yoni steaming or yoni massage can help in releasing trauma and reconnecting in sacred sexuality. And again, this is because it is a ritual. So when I do a yoni steam for myself, I create a ritual out of it. And the ritual itself, like any magic ritual, creates a connection between my subconscious mind and my conscious mind, between my feminine and masculine. So the ritual itself becomes a union of its own, where it connects both sides of your consciousness, the subconscious and the conscious, the feminine, the masculine. You see, and this is the key. This is the key to understanding magic, to understanding what a ritual is. Because a ritual is just a reminder. It's like a little button we push. It's a reminder to our subconscious mind of who we really are, of our power. It awakens these codes from deep, deep, deep within us. So that's why a life of ritual is number one for a divine feminine, especially women who want to follow the sex priestess path. So we have a womb and cervix massage, like I spoke before. And like, again, it's such an ancient practice that no one is teaching. And the sisters have shown me, and I cannot wait to teach this to women. Some people teach it, but not the way of the temple. All right. So, let me see. Again, so there are so many practices like that have been used in the temple, as well as a way to not only heal, but connect sisters to each other and to each other's pain, to each other's gifts, to each other's love, to each other's wisdom. This is why these practices are so important, and this initiation is so important. It is a powerful way to awaken one another's divine feminine. This can only be done by women to women. It is not a sexual practice, again, like I said, but a highly empowering one that will shift your energy completely. So if a man offers you, by the way, I'm going to go on a little rant here. If a man in the spiritual community offers you a healing cervix massage, okay, please don't accept it. I beg of you, just please think about it before you accept it. Listen, a man can give you a wonderful pussy massage. A man can serve you in so many wonderful sexual ways. He can take you on the greatest sexual ride of your life and have a fully healing, magnificent, awakening experience if he's aligned, which is unfortunately rare, but it exists. These men exist. If you feel safe and comfortable. But this specific healing method, it can only be achieved by another sister. there is a reason for that. Again, I cannot talk about this on YouTube. I cannot even do an online course about it. But a deep healing of the cervix, of your womb, of the trauma, that is sisterhood work. Okay, so please don't accept any bullshit like that from men. And men, don't offer that. Don't offer. You can offer other healing. You can offer, to serve her in the best sexual way. Of course. Yes, please do that more. But please be in integrity, and please don't create more trauma to each other in the spiritual community, in the tantra community. I'm really disgusted, by the way, by so much that I see in the spiritual community, especially when it comes to sex and tantra and all that stuff. So find your discernment, be in integrity, and be very responsible with your sexual energy and your sexual exchange. Okay? Please, I beg of you. So to conclude, feminine disgust on a spiritual level, particularly in relation to sexual energy and trauma, is a complex and deeply personal experience for each woman. It encompasses emotional, physical, and energetic dimensions. Healing this disgust involves addressing the trauma holistically through emotional processing, energetic cleansing, physical cleansing, and spiritual practices that honor and reclaim and own your feminine power. So the journey from disgust to empowerment is a sacred one, filled with opportunities for profound transformation and awakening. As a woman on earth, knowing that my heightened disgust sensitivity is a common experience among women helps me also feel understood and less alone. So talking about it is really important. It is so empowering to understand why I feel the way I do and to use that knowledge to navigate the world around me more effectively. Unfortunately, heightened disgust sensitivity in women is sometimes stigmatized or misunderstood or laughed at even. It's crucial to break these stereotypes and approach the topic with empathy and openness and a lot of compassion, really. By talking openly about these emotions and their roots, we can foster a more compassionate and understanding society for both men and women. I feel like really when the more men truly understand, they can't fully understand, especially if you're a masculine man, that your job is to be masculine, not to be feminine. And we really need men to be more in our masculine today, please. But to really, even if you can't fully understand the feminine and the woman, to be present and to really try to have that compassion towards the feminine pain and disgust that comes from deep, deep pain and trauma and fears. Mostly, again, a lot of subconscious in women, where women have the space and safety to be all that they are. And this will be a win-win for both men and women, because real divine men want and need us women to be in our full radiance. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, like, and share so I can continue making these videos and share the work of the temple. And may the goddess bless you all.